Hi everybody, welcome to week 4 of your evidence-based practice course. I have had a long day and I'm curling up in something snuggly. And I hope you people in the part of the country that are experiencing the polar vortex are keeping warm. That is just craziness. My in-laws are in central Wisconsin and ooh, nasty. All right, week 4. So, we're getting there. We're really moving in a good direction. I'm feeling good about the majority of the projects. It's good. So, you've just turned in your paper where you discuss the research support for your EBP project. And I'm hoping that you found some good studies to use as evidence. There's one concept that a few of you are just really struggling a little bit with, so bear with me. I just want to make sure that everybody's crystal clear on this. So with EBP, you will find several studies. That means there were participants and statistics, not just somebody writing about an idea. So there were several studies about using the same intervention to produce the same outcome, okay? So central line associated bloodstream infections, okay, CLABSIs. So you would look at studies where infection control people all used the same central line bundle in these different studies, and their outcome was all looking at rates of central line bloodstream infections. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. So the intervention is already proved to be effective. You already know that it works. So you're going to implement that same intervention. So at your hospital, you want to implement that same CLABSI central line bundle, and you're going to look at the same outcomes, central line infection, that were looked at in the study. Okay, so you are just having something that's been proven in several studies, and you're just implementing it at your facility. Whereas with research, you've read a great deal about your topic. You are seeking new knowledge. So you'll likely have like an independent and dependent variable, but you're not really sure what that outcome's going to be. So there is a big difference, okay? And a couple of you or a few of you are just a little bit struggling with that fine line. Okay, so on to this week. DQ1. We're looking at barriers to implementing EBP in nursing, right? So you'll have some of these factors when you identified someone, you were looking at your organization readiness survey, organization readiness for EBP, right? And as you've done the readings in your text. So if you look at the first discussion question, it asks you to please try to post a barrier that has not already been posted, because there's tons of barriers as you're seeing. And so I want you to try to, I want to try to have as many possible for us to discuss. And I think we'll have a good discussion about that this week. All right. For the second discussion question, we're looking at protecting human subjects. And so you did look at this a little bit in your research course. So you need to think back to what participant groups are classified as vulnerable. Because that's what we're really saying. When we've got these vulnerable groups, how are we keeping them safe? So, so what participants would be classified as vulnerable, and what specific steps could we do to keep them safe, informed, so that they know their rights during research, okay, and not exploit them. So we know that there was a lot of exploitation of vulnerable or disenfranchised groups that took place in the early days of research, and we obviously never want to happen. Excuse me. We never want that to happen again. If you remember, like that syphilis study that took place, I think, among African American gentlemen. Sorry about that. I mean, just so many things took place in the past that were just awful. Okay, now for our assignment for this week. So, Section D, solution description. So we're doing all these sections, and at the very end, you're going to combine them all together, taking my feedback, incorporating any new information, have nice clean sections, and then you'll be putting them into one big project. Okay, so you're going to need to be concise with this paper and only provide the requested information because, again, there's a word count, right? So I really do want to take just a minute to go through each section. So, proposed solution. This is the intervention part of your PICO, the I. What are you implementing? You need to include several references supporting why you're proposing this solution. Why is it going to work? And those would come from the studies that you just turned in information about, right? That you just analyzed. Okay. Now, if at this point you're seeing too many barriers to implementation, not enough research for the study, you might need to refine that PICO question, okay? And you can call me to discuss that. All right. 2, organization culture. How does your solution, your intervention, fit with the organization's culture and resources? So why is it a good match? You might reference things that you found in your organizational readiness survey, or maybe the organization's mission and vision statement or services that they provide. Why is this practice that you want to implement a good fit for this particular organization? Okay, expected outcomes. Just be very straightforward here and state the outcome or outcomes you are measuring from your PICO question, right? Don't get real creative, just use plain language and be straightforward. Method to achieve outcome. Now, this is actually a brief summary of your implementation plan. You're going to be answering, how are you going to get this done? You're going to be answering questions maybe like, will education be provided and by who? What approval needs to be obtained? Will an existing EBP committee be involved? Will there be super users or project champions? Now, we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty here, but I'm asking for a basic outline or sketch of your plan. Like what are the steps going to be? Not every single detail. And then you also need to address if there's barriers, assumptions, or limitations that you are expecting. Are you going to be up against something that you're going to have to overcome? Or are you assuming something like maybe you'll have some corporate support for this at the local level? That would maybe be an assumption. Okay, so this is like an overview sketch, just the steps, because in week 5, you're going to be doing a whole implementation plan that will get into the really fine details of how all this is going to happen. Okay, and then the last section is, why is the outcome that you selected? Why is that important? What difference does that make? Look at the categories listed in the assignment directions and tell me which one it falls into and what difference your outcome is going to make, okay, in one of those areas. All right, so please use headings in your paper so that I just can really understand where I can find those different components, right? Because you don't want a teacher having to guess, okay, she wrote this paragraph. Did it mean to fit this criteria or this criteria? If I can identify where I can find those things very easily, then I can very easily give you points for them, right? You will definitely have references, right, for this paper. So look at the previous papers I've turned back for you, and if I said see GCU's APA Style Guide 6th edition that I attached in week 3. Make those corrections to the way that you're formatting your references, okay? So I'm really looking forward to seeing this assignment because you're showing me how you're bringing all these pieces together, and it's getting real, okay? If you get stuck and you want to brainstorm, give me a call. Cell phone, 801-577-4100. If I don't answer, leave me a message. We'll plan a time to connect because, yes, I do have a full-time job in addition to my teaching. I will be happy to discuss your project with you, brainstorm a little bit. I will not be able to review any papers before they're actually submitted. I've just got too many students that it wouldn't be possible for me to do that. And you have written tons of papers already. You are in the end of your program. You are paper masters by now. So anyway, so it's all coming together and I'm excited for you. But if you have questions, let me know. And I'll see you in the main forum.